Arcadian Vanguard presents The Wrestling News and your daily wrestling newscast for Wednesday, October 12th, 2022. Good morning, I'm Mike Sempervive. We begin today with Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson's comments yesterday about WWE Universal Champion Roman Reigns and a possible WrestleMania match in his future.
Who is head of the table?
Who is head of the table? Without saying any names, you're looking into his eyes right now.
So are you confirming that you will challenge Roman Reigns at the next WrestleMania to get that title?
I am not confirming that at all. No, I am not. Though I'm going to get a text from him after he watches this.
Johnson made the comments in an interview for E! News with Aaron Lim of E's The Rundown while promoting his new movie Black Adam. He went on to confirm that the possible WrestleMania match has been discussed, and he likes the idea, but that there are a lot of variables that have to come into play before a match could happen.
Do we like the idea of you taking the title from Roman?
I love the idea of a WrestleMania, and I'm close to a lot of people there, but very close to one in particular who we've talked about this, so I like it. There's so many other variables that have to come into play, but I'm a fan because I'm a promoter at heart too as well, so I'm a fan of promoting an event, and what could that be?
Roman Reigns versus The Rock has been rumored as a possible WrestleMania match since Reigns first regained the Universal title in 2020. In ratings news, numbers are in for Monday Night Raw, which aired live on the USA Network. The show, advertised as the season premiere episode, drew an average of 1.824 million viewers, with a rating in the key 18 to 49-year-old demographic of 0.55 according to Showbuzz Daily and WrestleNomics. Overall viewership was up 14.07% from last week's Extreme Rules Go Home episode, which drew 1.599 million viewers. In the hourly breakdown, Hour 1 drew 1.876 million, Hour 2 drew 1.894 million, and Hour 3 dropped to 1.703 million. The rating in the key demo was up 37.05% from last week's 0.40 rating. The episode also ranked number 5 in the demo for the evening on cable TV and experienced the highest key demo viewership since September 5th. Monday Night Football on ESPN came in first in the key demo. Total viewership was up 15.3% from the same week in 2021, while the key demo rating was up 30.95%. Post Wrestling reported that Canadian television ratings numbers are delayed due to the Thanksgiving holiday being celebrated on Monday. NXT was broadcast live on the USA Network last night from the WWE Performance Center in Orlando, Florida. Ilya Dragunov defeated Grayson Waller in the main event, but took a spear from NXT champion Braun Breaker immediately after the match.
Just his second match back, and he's focusing.
Shucky ducky quack quack.
Breaker, Dragunov, and J.D. McDonough will face off in a triple threat for the NXT title in the main event of NXT Halloween Havoc on October 22nd. In the show's opener, Breaker beat Javier Bernal in a non-title match and got into a post-match brawl with both Dragunov and McDonough. Also on the show, Nathan Frazier beat Axiom in their best-of-3 series finale, earning the last open spot in the 5-man ladder match for the vacant NXT North American title at Halloween Havoc. In other results, Malik Blade and Edris Enofe won a triple threat to become the number 1 contenders to the NXT Tag Team title. Wes Lee beat Channing Stacks Lorenzo, and Indy Hartwell defeated Valentina Feroz. In other WWE news, here's the Wrestling News' Lou Kipilman.
WWE is scheduled today to begin Campus Rush, a new talent recruiting tour created to scout NCAA Division I athletes on multiple college campuses. According to an announcement yesterday, the first stop today is the University of Mississippi, and the tour will continue until December 7th, when it concludes at Penn State. Other stops will include Georgia Tech, Clemson, Boise State, and Ohio State. Joining the recruitment tour are current WWE performers who got their start in college athletics, including Bianca Belair, Madcap Moss, Amos, Big E, and Raquel Rodriguez. Campus Rush is planned to start up again in 2023, with stops to include the University of North Carolina, Texas A&M, the University of Oklahoma, Auburn University, the University of Illinois, Northwestern, the University of Florida, the University of Michigan, and Michigan State. WWE has been stepping up efforts to recruit college athletes as of late, with more than 100 athletes from more than a dozen different sports brought in for tryouts this year. Nearly 50 athletes from those events have been signed to developmental contracts so far, according to a company press release. For the Wrestling News, I'm Lou Kipilman.
Turning to Major League Wrestling, MLW will have a new streaming carrier starting next month, according to a story from Sports Illustrated's Justin Barrasso. Pro Wrestling TV, a streaming and on-demand network linear channel that carries wrestling content 24/7, will begin carrying MLW programming on November 3rd, starting with the Battle Riot 4. The company's Fusion TV program will also be coming to Pro Wrestling TV, according to a statement from MLW CEO Court Bauer. Launched last April, Pro Wrestling TV also carries programming from AAA and Maria Kanellis' Women's Wrestling Army promotion. In news from Japan, the Japanese Pro Wrestling Hall of Fame held its second annual induction ceremony on Monday at Korakuen Hall. Entitled Legacy 2, the event featured the induction of 3 new members into the Hall of Fame. They included Akihisa Miura, better known as the Great Kabuki, whose career began in the Old Japan Wrestling Association of the 1960s, and who later achieved success in All Japan as a World Tag Team Championship partner of Jumbo Tsuruta. Also inducted was Shinya Great Kojika, whose 60-year career has included successful runs in All Japan and DDT, as well as the establishment of the Big Japan Pro Wrestling promotion. And inducted posthumously was the late Masa Saito, who enjoyed great success in New Japan Pro Wrestling in the 80s and 90s and was a former AWA World Heavyweight Champion. Kabuki and Kojika were both on hand to be inducted. The 3 inductees joined last year's inaugural class, which included Giant Baba, Antonio Inoki, Jumbo Tsuruta, Tatsumi Fujinami, Riki Choshu, and Genshiro Tenryu. The Japan Wrestling Hall of Fame was first established by Tenryu in 2020. And in closing, we'd like to make one correction as it relates to Tuesday's report. When speaking about the return of Carl Anderson and Doc Gallows to WWE, we mistakenly mentioned that the duo lost the Impact Tag Team Championship to Chris Sabin and Alex Shelley, also known as the Motor City Machine Guns. That was incorrect, as Anderson and Gallows dropped the titles to the OGK team of Matt Taven and Mike Bennett. We apologize for the error. And before we leave you today, we'd like to remind you that however you consume your content, you can find the wrestling news 24 hours a day and 7 days a week across social media. On Twitter, follow us at Wrestling News AV. Our Facebook page is also Wrestling News AV. The Wrestling News can also be found on the Arcadian Vanguard YouTube page. And for those who utilize Amazon Echo devices, just tell Alexa to play the Wrestling News podcast. And remember to make sure you add podcast at the end. Once again, for daily updates, breaking news, and more, follow the Wrestling News across social media. And that's the news for today. If anything happens, we will be here to tell you about it. No clickbait, no paywall, just the Wrestling News. The Wrestling News is a division of Arcadian Vanguard, and the Wrestling Newscast is a production of the Arcadian Vanguard Podcast Network.